Hey Browns fans, welcome into Training Camp Insider presented by Snapple Nathan Zegura alongside the voice of the Cleveland Browns, Jim Donovan. And Jim, Mother Nature said, you're not practicing at 10:45 today. Practice had to be moved to the afternoon, but it was a good one.
It was a very good one. Patience, patience, patience. No way they could practice this morning. Rain, thunder, a little bit of lightning. Waved it off, but boy, they got a beauty in this afternoon. A long practice, a good practice. Looked terrific.
Hey, you got to tip your hat to the Greenbrier staff. They got these fields. You didn't see anybody slipping. Amazing what they were able to do. And let's dive into this practice because we saw our most extensive 7-on-7 and team period so far of the time in West Virginia. What stood out to you?
Well, there was one of the periods on 7-on-7 where I thought the defense really had a very, very good period. I thought JOK was good, Denzel Ward, big breakup, MJ Emerson, big play. And, I thought they won that part of that particular one.
Yeah, that very first 7-on-7. In fact, a couple of times Deshaun had nowhere to go with the football
Absolutely.
At all. But as the day went on, and the defense, listen, they made plenty of plays. MJ Emerson had a couple of pass breakups. JOK, a nice tackle for loss in a team period. Thornhill got his hands on a ball, almost got a pick. But I thought the offense, after that initial 7-on-7, really started to pick it up. And in the first 11-on-11, Deshaun Watson finished the period with 5 straight completions.
Boom, 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 right? And, he went to number 2. Cooper got him going. Yep. Then everybody else fell in line. The receivers really look very good right now.
They most certainly did. Yeah, you got it to Amari Cooper. I thought Elijah Moore had a big day, and we'll talk a little bit more about him in a second. But after Deshaun kind of got it going for the offense, in comes Jameis Winston with the second team, and a guy we were talking about a lot in OTAs and minicamp, Matt Landers. He had his 8th 50-yard touchdown of the offseason for the Browns. They say, look, he's a vertical guy. If he's a one-trick pony, it's a darn good trick, Jim.
Well, I have to tell you, he was great, but I was right behind the throw. The throw was amazing, how he kind of played the wind and just arced the ball in there. Great throw by Jameis Winston.
Yeah, Winston stepped up in the pocket. Landers was deep, and he got him the football. And then we turned our attention to a 7-on-7 red zone period. And this is where I thought Deshaun Watson really kind of had the best period of the day. They were down at the 6-yard line on 3 straight plays. Boom, touchdown to Ced Tillman. Then he kind of waited, found the Chief with Ronnie Hickman draped on his back for a huge touchdown. And then the third one to the back of the end zone to Elijah Moore, who climbed the ladder, made the catch. And that was just 3 straight scores, and they were looking really good.
And Elijah threw the ball to the sky, didn't he? I mean, good celebration.
He did. And David Njoku, and I'm pretty sure we have video of this because it was right next to me, catches his touchdown and then fires the football about 6 inches to my right. Oh. And it gets stuck in the dolly. I don't think he could do that again if he tried, but a good day for this offense. And we talked about, the rhythm of it and the ball coming out quick. But today we did see some shots down the field as well. DTR, by the way, should note, a couple of beautiful deep balls. One Darden couldn't haul in, but then a deep kind of corner to Landers that was a dime.
Yeah, it was good to see that too. I mean, you love the ball coming out very quickly, but you're going to need length at some point, and these guys can go get it.
Absolutely. And so you kind of saw them stretch the field a little bit. And one of the guys who really stretched the field for the Browns last year so effectively, Amari Cooper, career high 17.4 yards per catch. He was making big plays down the field, and we got a chance to catch up with him earlier today. All right, Amari, back at training camp again, coming off of a career year. Career high in yards per catch. Have you had a chance to reflect on that and then also take a peek ahead to what's to come here in 2024?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely had a chance to reflect on that. I think things are, falling in place the correct way in terms of where I want my career to go. I think every player's goal is to get better each and every year. I think that's, kind of what I've been doing since I've been at the Cleveland Browns. So I look to expound on that for sure.
We've heard about the new offense or the new wrinkles in it. How have you liked it? Because you're looking at it, you're in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the wrinkles, man. I love the wrinkles so far. I think it's very beneficial to us receivers. I think we have a lot more freedom in our route running and things of that nature. So that's definitely a plus for us. At the end of the day, we still got to go out there and execute the plays. But I just think it's definitely on our side to do that because, that, like we were just talking about this earlier, that having that freedom in route running is huge for route runners. So I think it'll be good.
When you say it's huge for route runners, and just being able to observe you, and I know you and I have talked about this, that you're not going to run the same route the same way every time because they know what you're doing then. So you use that to set people up, that freedom. Why is that so important to be able to have that ability?
Well, it's always been important to me, I think, when it comes to route running and certain players in general. Some guys have rules, some guys have guidelines, you know what I mean? And I think when you talk about route runners, which me, Elijah, and Judy all are.
Yes.
We're more so guideline guys. We don't run the route that's on the sheet of paper. We need some flexibility. As long as it's within the realm of, the actual route and the timing of the route, then we'll be good. We'll execute it properly. And I think the coaches understand that. And they've seen over the years how well it works when guys have a little bit of flexibility. So, I'm looking forward to running those routes that they install.
All right, that's the operative word, route runner, okay? And everybody talks about how well you do it. Your teammates kind of emulate what you do. Who taught you? Because they're kind of learning from you.
Man, I've just been playing the same position my whole life. It's interesting. I was talking to Judy. He's such a good route runner, but he only started playing football in the 7th grade. And he said he only started playing receiver in 11th grade. So I was like, wow, you're pretty good, pretty good route runner for a guy who started so late. But with me, I felt like I just been playing it since I was like 6 years old, just running routes. And I think repetition is the mother of all learning. So I think I had some pretty good coaches in that football hotbed down there in South Florida, and it was just practice.
You mentioned Jerry Jeudy, and obviously you're well aware that you are a big influence on him. And I think part of the reason he's probably such a good route runner, he watched you. He used to take a phone that had no service to a McDonald's so he could get onto YouTube and watch Amari Cooper highlights, which is pretty cool. Is it fun having a guy like that in the room with you and somebody that is so eager to keep learning and obviously emulate a lot of things that have made you such a long-term success in this league?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we kind of cut from a similar cloth, both being from South Florida. Right. And even though he says he's watched me a lot, he's still uniquely him at the end of the day. So I'm sure that, when he's out here running routes and stuff like that, there's some stuff that I can pick up from him too. So, I'm excited to see him work and see what we can do together.
Now, you can catch that full interview with Amari Cooper tonight at 7 p.m. on the Browns YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. I know, Jim, you are a big fan of Amari Cooper's, and it's great the contract's all settled. And the fact of the matter is today, you hit it on the nail on the head. His catch kind of got the ball rolling for this offense.
All of that concern I had, all the Advil PM.
Sleepless nights.
Advil PM to try and grab some winks. He was always coming. He wants to be here.
Yeah, he loves to practice.
He needs to
practice,
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and you can tell he's excited about this offense and really the freedom it gives him as a route runner, and he's an artist out there, really, to ply his trade.
Yeah, that's very interesting about the freedom and the flexibility. What do you think about that?
I think it speaks to their understanding that he knows where to be and when to be there, and he will get there in what he deems to be the best way possible in that situation. So you're still getting to the landmarks, but how you get there is some flexibility because that allows him to set DBs up and to use things. We've talked about Amari and his ridiculous film study where he will watch every route against a corner so that he knows, I bet when I show him this, they're expecting this because I did it to them, and then boom, he hits them with a little variation.
And then on the other end, the quarterback has to understand that, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's why these reps are so important, right, at training camp. You're getting out there, you're seeing things. We talked about the choice routes, the option routes. Those are only effective because very quick decisions have to be made by two people, and they have to make the same decision together. And so those are the important reps you're getting out here in training camp.
No doubt.
So we talked about this offense, and there is a lot to like, but the offensive line, certainly a staple of that. Ethan Posick has turned into one of the best centers in the NFL. You've got perennial Pro Bowlers at the guard position. You also have DeJuan Jones at right tackle. Now, some questions about when Jack Conklin and Jed Wills will be back, but we saw Jed Wills working off the side today, but that's really the only concern. The rest of this offensive line, very, very solid.
Yeah, that's interesting about Posick, isn't it, really?
Oh, man.
Where he came from, how he arrived here, and what he has become. A real staple to their offensive line. What you have to have at that spot.
Absolutely. And quite frankly, Ethan Posick is deserving of Pro Bowl consideration. He's been a top 5 overall center at Pro Football Focus in each of the last 2 seasons, and he's right in between those 2 great guards, Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio. So you like that line. And today we saw a couple runs. Jerome Ford had a nice crease off the left side where he was able to pick up a big gain. And, boy, you could hear DeJuan Jones talking all day today. He gets fired up to compete. And you could also hear Joel Bitonio talking a little bit for this offensive line.
How about that? I'm a little bit surprised like that.
He said, shove it down their throats.
There you go. All right. Deontay Foreman had a couple of nice runs, too.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, big, strong back, runs with a very kind of upright style, but a lot of burst and ability to shed off tacklers and make big runs. And now the offensive line, we talked about the guards, 2 Pro Bowlers, but you always have to be thinking about the future, and we saw with all the injuries last year, the Browns really wanted to beef that up. So in the 3rd round, they took Zak Zinter, who just strikes you as a 10-year pro off of that great offensive line at Michigan.
What a quality player. beloved up in Ann Arbor. I mean, really beloved up there. Comes to a really good spot here for him because he will learn the right way.
Absolutely. Spending a lot of time with Joel Bitonio. We're also told today that Javian Cohen, the undrafted free agent, spent a lot of time with Joel Bitonio working off the side. He's a guy that Browns like out of the U who didn't give up a sack last year in pass protection. So you've got some good young guards. But Zinter, when you talk to him, you like him even more. And guess what? We're going to take you behind the curtain. We had Zak Zinter mic'd up. Take a listen.
Here we go. Honestly, forget I am half the time. I try to take like the 3 tech on the outside because keep right. I thought he was gonna roll to the right, but he kind of just stayed in the pocket.
Yeah, so he's setting up over the tackle, maybe a little outside.
So I just need to shoe set him down there?
Shoe set him and invite him inside. Oh, I don't rush. You tell me you stay, right? You're the rat killer. Then he gets out and he becomes you.
Yep.
180, what's up? How you doing, Zach?
Good.
Crazy? Welcome to the league moment?
Nothing crazy.
Good push initially, right? But that guy plays back, try to get a cut, right? You're doing
So I need to just
yeah, because you're going. Hey, I'm looking at him. He goes back. My eyes should take me back this way.
Yeah.
It's going to be an immediate cut, but just to get that backside.
Okay. I feel like this bat's slippery as trying to hold it from going up.
Here we go. O-line on 3. 1, 2, 3.
O-line!
Again, Zak Zinter just strikes you as the kind of guy who wants all the information he can get. Look, in an ideal scenario, he does not play a single snap this year, and that would be just fine, but he's somebody that certainly is in the future plans.
Because, there are times where somebody gets pushed into the lineup way before they're ready, and it then becomes kind of a counterproductive method of doing it. So I think this is the perfect spot for him, like I said before.
It certainly is. And I think that he will be as pro-ready as you can be, right? Coming out of college with Jim Harbaugh there at Michigan. And again, like we said, hopefully we don't see him. But if we do, hopefully he performs like DeJuan Jones did when he was thrust into action last year.
Yeah, I heard they ran the ball up there at Michigan.
Yeah, they ran it quite a bit. If you want to learn more about Zak Zinter, he will be the focus of our upcoming episode of Unleashed that drops this Sunday. So Browns fans, be sure to check that out at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Browns. So tomorrow, the Browns will have a walkthrough. They will have meetings and a team building experience. Then on Thursday, they come back. Training Camp Insider will be back. They will put the pads on, and this will be the first, I think, real practice in the pads. Jim, what do you want to see?
I think they're both sides of the ball are very, very eager to get out there and get it going. The level of intensity, always interesting on day number 1.
There's no doubt, because you kind of even got a sense of that intensity today. There was a lot of talking on both sides of the ball when their respective side made a play. So this will be kind of the first look and the first kind of taste of the physicality of the 2024 Cleveland Browns, and we'll have it covered for you here on Training Camp Insider. For the great Jim Donovan, I'm Nathan Zegura saying thanks for joining us on Training Camp Insider, presented by Snapple.